Welcome, everybody. We are doing recaps from DynamicsCon, which was last week in Chicago. A lot of great sessions. I've had a lot of recaps already, and this session is with Tanya Henderson. Tanya, welcome to the recap with us. Glad to have you here.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yep, glad. And this is a follow because you and I were on a call like 2 weeks ago before DynamicsCon, and now you're just telling me you're getting ready to travel over to Europe for a whole month with another Dynamics conference.
Yes, I am. I'm heading to Dynamics Minds tomorrow morning. So yes, it's a pretty cool conference. It's actually in Slovenia and Porto. So
Okay.
this is my third. This is their third conference, I believe. So this will be my third. I've been attended all three. The conference is run so it's just done so well. They have for the speakers and everything, they have a whole thing on Sunday that we do. We've been on the boat. We went to a winery tour. They don't tell us what we're doing until we get there, which is really super cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the hotel that we're at is right there on the ocean. The water's a little cold, but it's right there on the ocean. So you sit in sessions and you're kind of staring at the water, and it's
Oh, nice.
beautiful. Yeah. So if you haven't been to Dynamic Minds, it is a really good conference also.
How in
Yeah.
size does this compare to DynamicsCon?
Yes, so it's about the same size. Actually, it's a little smaller than DynamicsCon. Actually, I think they have capped Dynamics Minds, I believe, at 1,000, and I think they're going to try to keep this a smaller conference, which is kind of nice because you really get to see, you really get to talk and meet other people. So it's just really nice. They do parties on the ocean every night, basically, which is really cool. So your dinners and parties are right there on the ocean. So
So I
it's a
know
good
that.
conference too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I know two of you so far are headed over that way.
Yes,
Rachel Prophet is over there.
she is.
Yep, and I'm not sure if you know of, is it just a lot of North American presenters headed over there to talk about
It's
dynamics, or?
it's everybody, and so there's Business Central, Power Platform, CE. So there's all the same types of tracks. There's not a BGP track, but there's the other tracks that are over there. I did have a very long conversation with Rachel actually last week. I got to sit down and talk to her for just a little bit. She's awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, so there are speakers from everywhere there because it's just kind of a central. So, like a Jeremy Viska, AJ Kaufman, Shannon is actually leaving and going today from the US. Like you said, Rachel Prophet. So there's just so many. Fausto Mariano's going this year for the first time. So yeah, there's a whole
hmm
bunch of us, but we also get that European influence too. So it's kind of cool.
Well, I have a
So yeah.
calendar of Dynamics events. I've been aware of this one, haven't added to the calendar, but I will look at it for next year. I feel like I'm missing
Yes.
out.
It's like I said, it's definitely really nice. It's a good location and it's a really good conference. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
And
yeah.
that's the one it's like, how many days is it? 3 or 4 days?
It's the same. Yeah. So it's 3 days. So we will start Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so 3 full days, let me tell you.
And you're
Good
going to stick around
food.
for more than just the conference?
I am. We're actually going to, there's an MVP session that we are going to in Denmark, in Copenhagen. We're meeting with the Microsoft team there.
hmm
So they are hosting us for 2 days. And so we're going a little bit early on that weekend to Copenhagen to also spend some time, personal time with the Microsoft folks. So we're looking forward to that. And there are a lot of BC MVPs from the US going over to Copenhagen for that event. And it's June 16th. So rather than flying all the way home, a couple of us are planning to just stay in Europe.
I don't
and
blame you.
travel around and do
Yeah.
some work.
It's a lot to see over there. Great countries,
It
great cities to
is.
see, great people to meet on the way. So
Yes.
I just got back from London myself. I had not been to Europe since before COVID, so it's been a while since I
Wow.
made the trip before this London one. So
Nice.
it was good
Yeah.
to make a trip.
Well,
All right, well,
cool.
I'll put that back on my calendar for next year.
Yes, you should. It's great. Definitely. And it's
So,
pretty easy to get to. I mean, it's not horrible. We fly into Venice, and then you do have to take a car. They have a shuttle service from the hotel. So shuttle service takes you right from the airport to the hotel. And then then you're just there. And Fausto and I drove a couple of years ago and had a great time. We're actually going to drive after the conference and go to Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia. So we're going to do
okay.
a little time together with all of us.
Well, how far is the drive from the Venice airport to
It's
the
about 2 hours.
conference?
Yeah, it's about two
Okay.
hours. But it's nice.
All
I
right.
mean, we met some other people last year. Rory, I think, who we had never met. He was one of the Europeans, and he was in the shuttle with us. So it was really nice to getting to meet some new people. So it's fun.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nice. I had been to Venice before, but it sounds like you won't be spending too much time in Venice. You'll be
I will
hitting the
not.
road right away.
Yes. And Venice is one of my favorite cities to go to. So I'm really sad about that,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Yeah.
Well, you'll catch it on the next trip.
I'll get it on the next trip. Exactly.
So
So
you have been pretty busy with all these
I have.
conferences that are coming up and the ones that you've been doing. How did Chicago go?
So Chicago, I thought was really, really nice. Obviously we were at DynamicsCon. The the conference center was a little hard to navigate, which a lot of them are, but this one would seem really difficult to navigate. We didn't
Yeah.
kind of notice that the first time we went. So it was a little, just kind of going from floor to floor to floor and a lot of escalators. But
Yep.
the expo this year, the expo was really nice to have a dedicated expo space. So that was really great, a part of the event. The we were hoping, we really liked the casino night that we did not, I think it was last year. So that we liked a little bit better because it allowed you to kind of enjoy and have fun with obviously the people who were attending the conference. This year, I
Hmm.
felt like I was working the whole receptions because we had a booth this year. Blue Dragonfly had a booth at the conference. So we felt like we were kind of working through all of the receptions, which,
Hmm.
was okay, but not what I would have preferred. Would have loved to have had a little bit of a break on that.
Was it good
But
foot traffic during the expo hours?
yeah, we did get some good foot traffic during the expo hours. We gave some things from El Salvador because we have our office in Berlin, and so
Hmm.
we did all of our swag was Berlin. I think I may have told you this. It was kind of Berlin, El Salvador, El Zante influenced. So we had coffee from our roaster that we had there. Steve Endo had gotten that from him. We did some tumblers and some mugs and all of that kind of stuff for the conference that kind of had some pictures from El Salvador. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
We liked it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And during the day, you had a full schedule with a lot of sessions.
I
You
did
had to be
have a lot
running
of
around like
sessions.
crazy.
I was. But the sessions went really well. And I actually attended a couple of sessions too. When I had 5 minutes to not be sitting at the booth during the day because the expo was open quite a bit. Friday was the one day that it wasn't open, so I actually went to a Chinsky session on Friday after our MVP session, which I think went really well this year. Mark Rhodes was our MC, and he just does an amazing job being an MC.
Yep.
And Anya actually just sent to me this morning a little uh, a blurb about what Business Central's learned by attending DynamicsCon, and she actually mentioned our session. I think you spoke with Alyssa, so she said
I
some of
have,
her
yes.
favorite sessions were the hidden and unknown gems. So she kind of shouted out to us on that, which was awesome because that was our first time presenting that session together. And we had, I think, about 150 people in that session, and it was a really good session. We actually ran over on time and didn't even finish our slides from all the tips and tricks we had. So that was an
Huh.
awesome session. So
That's good. I mean, that's a big room with a ton of people.
yes, it was. Yeah.
So
So,
it's
but
good
it was,
to hear that you got quite a little fan club going.
we apparently we did for that session, but no, it was a good session. Yeah, so I loved it. Yeah, she said that she got so much out of it, literally had 2 pages of notes. So I'm like, that's
Yep.
awesome. That's what we're there for, is to kind of share that information. Yeah, so it was a good session.
Good, good.
Yep.
So
I,
Wednesday you had that one session about financial reporting for BC,
I
and then
did.
Thursday you had that hidden and unknown gems within BC. Plus you had License to Thrive that morning as
Yes.
well.
Yes. So that session I did with Cole Haddock and Joe Griffith, and that actually, we didn't have a huge turnout for that session, but we're actually presenting that session 2 other times. It's a licensing session, so I think it turned out really good. Those two are very, Cole and Joe are very seasoned presenters. We're actually presenting that same session next week in Slovenia together. So I really liked that session because I didn't have to do a ton of work because Cole is so good with licensing. If you ever want to be bored and talk licensing, go find Cole Haddock because he can rattle some stuff off, let me tell you. But it was a good session though. Yes. And then my
Awesome.
financial reporting session also was a good session. You know, it's a staple. I always call that a staple session. You know, I had a lot of people come up to me and ask me about the Power BI reports, the financial reports that I do, which is kind of my passion. So yeah,
Mhm.
it was a good conference. It really was. You
Awesome.
missed it.
Well, I know I hate that I missed it this year. I've heard so many good reports back about it. I do have it on my list for next year. I
Yes.
see where they already announced the location, Vegas, at the
Yes.
Fontainebleau, which is I've been to conferences at the Wynn out there and MGM.
Hmm.
Fontainebleau is a newer hotel, so I haven't been to one
Yes.
there yet.
Yes, and it's
But
a
that's out
little
there.
south on
Uh-huh.
this, a little further down on the strip, which is kind of nice because it's a little closer to Fremont and Resort World, which is relatively new to the people who don't go that far down on the Vegas Strip. So,
Well, I think the Wynn and Resort World are pretty close together.
yes,
Okay, and then a
yep,
little bit further down towards the stratosphere for Fontaine.
yes.
Okay,
Somewhere right in there. I was thinking it was right closer to between the Wynn and the Resort World, but I could be wrong.
it could be. It could be.
Yep.
Yeah,
I only
and
lived there for
they.
10 years, but it wasn't really built
Oh,
when I
did
was
you?
there.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, they have that scheduled for May 12th through 15th of next year, and I do not think they have it on their website yet for registration, but they do have it on Eventbrite for registration for the early bird prices, which is, I think, less than $1,000.
Wow, nice.
So,
Okay. Well, definitely do
yep,
your early bird because if you don't do early bird, it can get pretty expensive
yep. So
for
that's out there
sure.
now. Eventbrite. We'll have a link on the LinkedIn post here as well for it.
Oh, great.
Any big ideas, other big events that happened out in Chicago for DynamicsCon?
Oh, I forgot. I forgot about the big event that we did. We did our 10-10 party. How could I forget that?
That's right. You had that as a restaurant bar setting.
Mom's Place. Yes, we threw a party at Mom's Place because of our 10-10 got kicked out of the Suite 10-10 last year. So we had a
Yep.
hotel lobby party and the folks at DynamicsCon said, you guys can throw a party. We would love that. And they did all attend, which was great.
Mm.
There's a lot of posts out there from that party. We sold out really quick on that party, and I think we had probably all of 150 plus people attend that party in and out throughout the entire evening. But Mom's Place, Andrea was the lady who assisted us there, and I can't remember the name of the bartender there, but he was amazing. They did such a great job. They just took care of us, and we sang karaoke upstairs in the other bar. Everybody played
Surely there are
pool and
videos of that now.
shuffleboard. There are. Yeah, just go look on LinkedIn. There's a bunch of links to parties, that party. But it was a really good turnout. We're super excited about that. And then we have our BC Bash that will be at Summit in October. So don't forget to register for that when it comes out.
And so it's just titled BC Bash.
It's the BC Bash, yes. So, yeah, we kind of stole the idea from Chris Dobkins on the GP Online party, and we have about 10 sponsors, I believe, for the BC Bash. It will be a very large event at kind of a Cuban restaurant dance kind of thing there. We're bringing in our DJ from last year to basically do the music for us from San Antonio. So it should be a really great party.
Sure.
Yeah.
And for all your sessions, any PowerPoints or documents you've got from those, are they already available on the mobile app, and will they be available on the website?
I don't believe that they're available yet for DynamicsCon. I haven't seen that those are available yet, but they will definitely be available. I don't believe they recorded any sessions. They have done that in the past, but I don't believe they recorded any sessions, so you will just have the slides available. And I think the slides are only available for people who've registered.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So, yes.
All right, so awesome, great topics there. I am sure you're going to have a smooth flight over there to Europe and back, and a lot of fun over there.
I hope so. So we'll have to get back together after I get back again. Give you some more lowdown on all of the fun things that we did at the Dynamic Minds, and like I said, I definitely want to look at what they do, because like I said, they do some really cool stuff there, and they always publicize it. So we'll definitely take some video.
Well, all your fans will be waiting for photos and videos on LinkedIn and wherever else you put those.
Yep.
And then I will see you in Orlando in October.
I will not be there. I know I'm promoting it, but I'm actually not going to attend. I'm going to be hiking a little mountain. So,
well,
yeah.
Well, they have mountains at Disney World.
You know what? I think they do have something called Expedition Everest. That is true.
Yeah,
and I'm actually I'm going to be hiking to Everest Base Camp actually in that same time.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
well,
so I'm trying to train for that.
Well, we'll miss you there in Orlando, but we'll catch you on the next one. And thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your stories with us and your travel plans and keeping us up to date on Business Central ins and outs here. It's been awesome.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, everybody, have a great holiday weekend, and we hope to be speaking with you again very soon. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you.